everyone. We're doing the second part now, a little bit second part of the requests that we had for the different older time crimes. So this is going to be the Bonnie and Clyde part of it. So I want to thank y'all for being here for this part of it. Like I said, it'll probably be about like another hour or so. But I did write down some facts. So I'm going to go ahead and read those down first. And then I don't think I wrote as many on this one as I did on the other. No, I didn't. This is one page, not two. So it was a lot. There wasn't as much information on them. And as far as like other than what they did and how they handled things. So we're going to go ahead and kind of just see what energy they give off with each other. And then I'm going to go ahead and just tell the basic facts that I got. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming in and waiting. I greatly appreciate it. Sorry to switch over so quick. I was going to switch decks, but the more I got ready to switch decks, the more like I was kind of told not to. Because of the steampunk being that darker side, and that's kind of the darker side of them. Now, I did switch the Oracles decks, but that's the only ones that I switched. So we do have Bonnie and Clyde. So this is going to be their reading, basically. So the numbers I got for them, and again, this could be roads they went on. If you total up the numbers, the amount of money they stole, all these numbers can mean a lot of things put together, but they all are double digits. So we have 50, 41, 75, 67, 89. I don't know what any of that means, obviously, but those are the numbers that I got for them. Again, it was 50, 41, 75, 67, and 89. So I don't know if that has anything to do with the time frame. So, or anything that they stole or the amounts or things like that, or the cars or models, roads, highways, whatever. So we have Bonnie and Clyde. So her name was Elizabeth Parker, Bonnie's was, and she was born on 8/11 of 1910, so that made her a Leo, and she passed away on May 23rd of 1934. So that would she passed away in Taurus. So Clyde was born on March 24th of 1909, and he also died the same day she did on May 23rd of 1934. And this was in Chestnut Barrow. Excuse me. So they were an American criminal couple. They traveled central throughout the USA. They were with their gang during the Great Depression, and they were known for their bank robberies. So they preferred small stores and rural gas stations, but they did rob banks. So they referred to, or as they were referred to as public enemy number 1 through 1931 through 1943. So they are believed to have murdered at least 9 people, 9 officers, and 4 civilians. So both were killed in May 1934 during an ambush by police near Gibbsland, Louisiana. Bonnie was said to be present at least during 100 or more felonies. So I'm saying a lot of it seemed to come from, I'm not saying that it didn't have anything to do with him, but it seems like as soon as he met her is when he really got into it heavily, even stronger. So, let's see. Yeah, she was said to be present at 100 or more felonies. During 2 years, during those 2 years, she was with Clyde. So they were killed on May 23rd of 1934 on a rural road in Brenville Parish, Louisiana. The officers, Hammer, Hinton, Alcaron, and BM and Manny, I believe is how you pronounced it, Galt, and Louisiana officers, Henderson, Jordan, and Prentice Morrill Gakely, I believe is how you pronounce it, formed the whole ambush on them. So they're the ones that set it up. About 9:15 a.m. on May 23rd, they laid and awaited for them, and then they went ahead and fired upon the vehicle once it passed. So basically Bonnie died first and then Parker died last. So that's the facts of that case. Yeah, there's a lot of prime numbers. A lot. I've never gotten that many. I've gotten like prime numbers mixed in with singles numbers, but not like it's almost like locations or like roads or maps or like whatever, because they traveled a lot. So it's almost like they took this highway. They're almost like highways or something, I feel like is what they're saying. And the numbers 5, 5, yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, yeah. I don't know, but again, that's a lot of normal highways, 45, things like that. Let's go ahead and see what happened. I want to bring in her spirit guides. So her name is Elizabeth Parker. I want to bring in Elizabeth Parker. And then Clyde's. And then we want to see how they feel now about what happened and why they did what they did. What contributed to that. Excuse me. Yeah. First, I mean, I've only been doing numbers for a little bit, but that's the first time I've ever had them that way. So, alright, so we're about to find out, like, pretty much what happened the day they met and then what led up to it. So, what happened at, like, around the time they met and what was planned? The world. They decided to go ahead and kind of like the pinky and the brain take over the world. They were going to do what they needed to do to get what they wanted, and they didn't care who they had to take out and who was in the way. So that is what the world card is here for. They felt that the world was in their hands, and they pretty much made it rotate within their hands for a while. So what else is they have? The Page of Coins. So they felt like people were trying to come in and stop their earthly offers, but it wasn't doing anything. I think they felt that even though this is in reverse and normally it would be against them, I think they feel like they kind of got over on the other people. Again, you see on this card upright, it's a very innocent almost looking, but they're very serious in the face. So when you see the doe here, like I said, or the baby deer, then you see that its innocence is kind of gone when it's in reverse. So whatever innocence they had, I know they weren't, of older age. It was given away very, very soon. Once they became part of each other's life. So yeah, they spun the Wheel of Fortune right after. So they already planned everything, and they spun the Wheel of Fortune, and they were ready to make something happen. So that's when they decided to do all the bank robberies and then go on the run and do all the things that they did. Yeah, numerology is really something that I really want to get into lately. So the 5 of Coins, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so they basically robbed because they felt like they needed to. They felt like they were robbed of money. They felt that they were in a situation where they were poor or not well off, and they didn't feel that they deserved that. They felt that they deserved to have the finer things. So they went ahead and took those things. That's why you see the hand is out and the pentacles are falling within the hand. The pentacles and the coins represent Earth. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So, yes. They thought it was their right to take it. And then she was the heavier energy. So she came in as the Queen of Swords, and she very much put that in his head that, yes, they could take it because by law she felt that she was entitled, or they both were entitled to go ahead and do so. So let's see why the Queen of Swords is here. And the 4 of Swords. So at some point, I don't know if they went into a resting period, and I kind of feel like this was her idea because of the swords. I do feel like for maybe 2 or 3 months, they probably chilled out a little bit, or maybe even 2 or 3 weeks. I don't think it was 2 or 3 days. But I do think they took time off for a little bit because they felt maybe it would take the heat off of them directly and people wouldn't notice them. Or that's her idea. Like I said, she was the mastermind. He loved her. He wasn't dumb. But he definitely went by her word. So again, he felt that she was very knowledgeable in what she did, and she put a lot of hard work into it with the 8 of coins. So he gave her the credit as he would almost you would the Hierophant. The Hierophant is going to be like Source almost. So it's like he really looked at her very highly and still does. So she was very intelligent and is very intelligent still. Maybe it was, but why is the Hierophant here with the 8? Yeah, like she had him go into the Knight of Swords for her if she needed him to. Here she is as the Queen of Swords, and right across she's got the Knight of Swords. So she's basically got him as her muscle to do whatever she needs because of what is going on. You know what I mean? So if something comes up, she's saying whenever I needed something, I told him I could go rest about it. He would put in the work. He would put in the energy, and then he would go in and take it in and do the damage. And basically, I could rest the whole time. And she rejoiced in that because she didn't have to do anything. She could just party, celebrate, enjoy herself, and she didn't have to do anything. So she enjoyed that about the situation. Does anybody have any questions so far before we move on to the next, the clarification part? Whoops. With the Steampunk Tarot. Pretty much. Like, he was just, like, head over heels in love with her. So it's like, no matter what she did, whether it was wrong or right, like, he didn't care. He just did it. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't question it. He just looked at no matter what she said, it was the right thing to do, it seems like. Even if he knew it was wrong, it was like, as long as she said it was right, that's all he had to tell everybody else. So we're going to go ahead and use Steampunk Tarot by Barbara Moore to clarify the Tarot Grand Lux by Sarah Machete that we just used. So, sorry, I know I keep banging on the table really loud. Let's do Steampunk Tarot. We're going to go ahead and find out why the world is here whenever they met. They released a devil energy, and they did it because they both had no emotions. So whenever they met each other, they realized they were both, if you don't have to be in the devil energy to be bad, but you can release it with somebody. I mean, you see where there's another person here. So whenever they released it, it's kind of like they went ahead and went into the King of Cups. They showed they had no true emotions. So they really didn't care about releasing that energy with each other because they knew the other person wasn't going to judge them. So why is the Page of Coins here? The Lovers. Okay. This might have you started it a little bit. I'm not saying nobody like cheated on anybody or did anything, but I think because of their age, they were so young. So their idea of love was completely warped and it was backwards. So the things that they did for each other was not normal things that lovers would do for each other. But again, they had the Page of Coins. So again, they were very young. They were in their 20s and 30s and they had no clue of what it was really like. Or at least if they weren't in their 20s and 30s, they behaved and thought as if they were in their 20s and 30s. So why is the Wheel here for Bonnie and Clyde? Yeah. Here's a page again. This is the page of cups now. So the page of cups come along with the wheel. So they spun the wheel and they used their emotions. This can be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And then the page of coins in reverse was Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. But no, this is upright. So I think they felt like when they went ahead and spun the wheel that they felt justified because they felt like they were emotionally not treated fairly, is how I feel. I feel not treated fairly. So they went ahead and did what they felt they needed to do to make that balance out. Whoops. Sorry. The whole card just fell on Rex. I'm sorry, Rex. Okay. Hey, bad. Just straighten them out real quick. So we're going to go ahead and fish in the second row. We're going to see how it was whenever they started the robberies and why and what led them to it with their spirit guides, our spirit guides, archangels, and source to give us a clear answer on why they went ahead and felt the Five of Pentacles in the middle. Why did they feel the Five, or who felt the Five of Pentacles? She did. The Queen of she was the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So she wanted money. She didn't care how and again, she was recorded, I think it said to be involved in over 100 felonies or 100 basic crimes. And she was supposedly with him at the time. They made it sound like he wasn't there. But again, this is coins on coins, pretty much. So she felt out in the cold. So she went ahead and went into the darkest energy of the Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn in reverse, which is manipulating, lying, and cheating. And she did that. By doing that, she brought in the Queen of Swords energy. So she started playing with people's minds. Because when you have more than one queen on the board, it can be the same person. So again, I think this is still the same person. I think she went from the Queen of Pentacles or coins in reverse because she knew she couldn't behave that way. So she acted like she was trying to help by maybe putting thoughts into things of how to handle it the best. So let's go ahead and see why the Queen of Swords is here. So basically she has a High Priestess. So she is saying not only is she the Queen of Swords, but she is the High Priestess. So whenever you're stuck in this energy too long, it can get dark. Whenever it goes this way, it's reversed. It means that you're coming out of it. But if you stay this way, sometimes, as you can see, like the eyes, and there's usually a dark pillar and a light pillar. They have the scrolls. They have a lot of knowledge. They're very psychic. But if they use it for the wrong reason, it's not always the best. And the second card they have is the Ace of Wands, so she's not using it for the best reasons. She is trying to offer something, but it's not something that's going to benefit anybody but her. And that's kind of why she's smirking. So we're going to try and see what the Four of Swords is here and who's resting and why. Why is the Four of Swords here? Oh, that's too many. And the Four of Swords here, who's resting and why. Somebody was supposed to put more work into something, but they didn't do it. And then the next one, they did. They tried to. This is how they feel now, though. I feel like they felt like they screwed up the well-oiled machine, so now they're trying to look back on and see in the books exactly where they messed up. It's kind of where I feel like that card's coming in. Because, again, they're resting and they are focusing on what went wrong with the Three of Coins in reverse. So it's going to be the Three of Pentacles in reverse, which means this well-oiled machine didn't run well-oiled. So they're trying to figure out kind of why now. So you have the Three of Coins. I'm sorry, not the 3 of coins, the 8 of coins, and then the Hierophant. And you have it with the 4 of wands in reverse. So whatever they expected to have this happy home, family, relationships, love, all those things. But because of what they did and how they handled things, they were, they died sooner than they should have. And they did not have any of those things. It was all taken from them before it was even offered, basically. So who is the Knight of Swords and why are they here? Because there was an overindulgence. Like I said, it was the 2 of them and then the robbery. I think they were so focused on that cup of abundance and getting everything they wanted. They didn't care about the cups they were like not focused on the side, which was them. And whatever could have happened. And that's why the 3 of Cups came out next after the 2 actually there's 3 of Cups twice. There's 3 of Cups on 3 of Cups. So they overindulged and then overindulged even more. And they admit that. They know that they took it way too far too many times. So they are saying that. So why do you feel the 3 of Cups on the 3 of Cups? Because again, he said, now this is him. He's claiming that he was the one that overreacted, not her. But I still believe it was a lot her. I do think he did things, obviously. But I do think that she was the main one making him think that it was okay. Or that, they would get away with it. Or she would get them out of it in some sort of way. So does anybody have questions about that spread? We're getting ready to do the oracle cards for them. Yeah. Well, he loved her. So it doesn't, in his mind, even now, he still doesn't care. He still would have done the same thing because he loved her. So let's go ahead and get a Psychic Oracle card. Or the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck card. And see if there's anything about the foundation or what they did or the area or what the foundation between them was that could have, impacted that. A few cards fall out already. So 4 fall out and put it in order. Or 5. Alright, so the first card that came out is going to be Partnership and Alliances and then Firm Foundation. So those are the first 2 cards that came out. That is what they were doing. They felt that they had built a very, very firm partner and alliance with each other. Whoops, sorry, that was my selenite tower again. Which they did. And then they made it even more firm by deciding to go ahead and go through with it, the whole plan with each other. So after that, they decided to move on and go into that plan going forward. And they decided to stand their ground, and that's where the shootout happened. But at the same time, they still were trapped in fear when the shootout happened, because why wouldn't they be? If you're getting shot out by numerous directions and you were ambushed, you would be trapped in fear at that moment. So I think at sometimes they still kind of relive that moment, but I think it's a part of their life review, and I think sometimes they have to relive it whether they like to or not. So I don't think it's something that they really have a choice much of whether they get to decide to see or not. Thank you, Robin. Yeah. It was like if you love me, then you would do this. You know what I mean? Like this is for us. This is to better us. Like that's how she would get it across to him, or try to get it across to him. It was always to better them, but in the long run, it was like she knew exactly that. Obviously, it was gonna. He knew it would too, but he still did it because he thought, he wanted to make her happy. So we got 3 life purpose cards, and this is what they are saying now. Study, practice, and animals. Kind of random. So reading, research, and education, it helps you gain confidence and clarity about your career. Now, when you pass and move on, like when you come here, you do have a career. That is why you are here. So if you are born onto this planet, you are here sent automatically with the career. And that is to rather be a worker, a light worker, a healthcare giver. Anything like that. All kinds of careers. So the next thing you have is practice. Polish your skills by practicing them regularly. So they're saying there's a lot of people who have skills and they have a lot more skills than what they notice. And they say if that you practice them regularly, then you will be able to start tuning into them more. And they also say use animals in the process. You understand animals and communication with them. Trust your inner guidance as the animals are part of your life's work. So animals are part of our life's work, and they do want people to still implement them as much as they can into their life because they are very important, and I think everybody knows that. But I was curious if anybody has any questions about that. Reading for Bonnie and Clyde so far. Sorry, my throat's just getting sore. Yeah, that's beautiful, right? Machine guns. Well, for them, it was love. I have any regret. I'm going to use the pendulum just because my throat's sore. I'm talking from the last one, and now I'm going to ask if they have any regrets that way, so I don't have to strain my voice too much. No, no offense or anything to anybody. Hopefully that doesn't bother them. I'm switching to the pendulum. Do you have any regrets? No. Does one of you have any regrets, or does one of you have any regrets? No. See, they loved each other, so they didn't care, basically, what happened in the end. So they loved each other. Let's see. Were you caught off guard when y'all were ambushed? No. They knew they would probably be getting ready to be set up. I think they finally gave into it. It's almost like that. I know it's not Thelma and Louise, but it's almost like how they hold their hand. They're like, let's go. It's like they knew it was about to happen, but they were just like, we're screwed regardless. So let's just go ahead and get this done with. So, but they said they weren't surprised by the ambush whatsoever. I can ask again, though. Were y'all surprised by the ambush? No. I don't think they wanted to go to jail anyways. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they cared. I think it was more that Romeo and Juliet bullshit. Like, not to be rude. I don't know if that sounded rude or not. But you know what I mean? Like, they didn't care if they passed as long as it was together. Do you have any other questions real quick before we like move forward or anything? Yeah. It's like they knew they were going to get caught, and they knew that if they were going to go to jail, they were going to be separated, and that they weren't going to have this love relationship. So what was the point? So it was kind of like, what is it, suicide by cop or whatever they call it? I haven't heard anything about her pregnancy. I'll ask if she was pregnant. Were you pregnant, Bonnie? She said no. She wasn't pregnant. I'm going to ask her again. Well, allegedly, but she's saying she wasn't. So let's see. We're going to ask again, were you pregnant, Bonnie, when you died? She's saying no. Again, very strongly. So it was just alleged. Were you pregnant when you died? Were you pregnant when you died, Bonnie? You were pregnant when you died? Nobody said you didn't, but she's saying she wasn't. So I'm about to pull cards to see if she was. I'm going to see if the pregnancy cards show up for her whatsoever, any type of pregnancy card. If it doesn't, and she keeps saying no with the pendulum, I'm going to say no, she wasn't pregnant, regardless of whatever history says. Because it is kind of like when you look back at kings and queens and biblical stuff, like you can pretty much interpret it, and anybody could add or take away whatever they wanted to at the time. So I'm going to ask her again if she was pregnant.
Hey, Mommy.
Yeah.
Chocolate, you're Riley now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, Mom.
Oh, there's too many cards. Alright. So we're going to ask her if she was pregnant. She said with the 2 of coins, yes, there was 2 things that were coming about that she did have to make a decision of. So she is saying, yes, she was balancing 2 things. But it could have been running from the law, or it could have been her relationship, or it could have been her life, or it could have been a pregnancy. So we'll go ahead and see. We'll clarify and find out. What is the 2 of coins here for? Justice in reverse. So basically, she felt that there was no justice with the 2 of coins. So she felt like no matter what decision she made, it wasn't going to be justified regardless. So were you pregnant or were you not pregnant? She's saying the Knight of Swords came in and really didn't seem to care either way, to be honest. And I know that he loved her, but the Knight of Swords is very unemotional. It's more a thought thing. It's not emotions. It's not run by emotion. Who is the Knight of Swords and why didn't he care? Was that his baby or was it somebody else's? If you were pregnant. She's saying it's somebody's brand new. So it might not have been his baby if she was pregnant. Was it his baby or was it someone else's? 5 cups, somebody else's probably, because she's got cups spilled all over the floor and she's coming out of the energy. So it's kind of like the grass is greener on the other side. So you see the 2 in the background, there would be the other person and maybe the baby. But she has it in reverse, so she probably just told him it was his. If she was pregnant still, I'm going to ask her if she miscarried because I don't think she was pregnant when she died. I don't feel that energy. So why is the 5 cups here? She tried to harvest something. So, yes, she did try to plant seeds and have a baby. So I'm going to ask her if she was pregnant again when she passed. Were you pregnant when you passed? Six of coins, equal give and take. So she was trying to make something balanced. What were you trying to balance out? Some communication and secrets. So that's going to be her last answer to that. She's saying she was trying to balance out some communication that she didn't want to come in and some secrets that she wanted to come out. So again, maybe that was a pregnancy. It's the moon, anything to do with your pregnancy with the 8 of Wands. She's saying the Magician in reverse. She says she can basically manipulate it to be whatever she wanted it to be. So this means she could have just lied and said that, basically. The Magician's a manipulator in reverse. So they use their thoughts and their mind to play with other people's minds. So she is saying that that's exactly what she did to him and that she could do it to anybody. So she's not saying that she's not 100% or wasn't 100% pregnant, but she's saying that even if she wasn't or was, she was very good at being able to convince people that she was. And at that time, it was kind of hard to prove. I don't even think they had pregnancy tests, so... Yeah, no, she wasn't. If she was pregnant, then I don't think it was probably his, to be honest. And even if it was, I don't think she was pregnant when she passed. Maybe she miscarried or something. I don't know. I know when you don't really, when you haven't been pregnant before, you miscarry. So that could have been something that happened. Yeah, it could have been so early on. Well, it depends on how early you are and how, if you've been pregnant before. Because most of the time you've been pregnant before, you know when you're pregnant. Like, you know. Like, right away, I think. Within, like, a week or so. You know when you're pregnant. So, but again, that's just my opinion. I mean... Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm getting tired from channeling. Yeah, what Lisa said. She wanted to have the baby, but it wasn't supposed to be. Yeah. Thank you, Sabrina. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Was there a third person involved? No. There was no third person. Oh, well, and with our classes, tomorrow I do have we're doing a live in the evening, and then I will do my class. I'm gonna try to do my classes in the morning, and so that way it'll be the last part of the class will be there for y'all. So whenever I am busy during the evening, that y'all will be able to go ahead and watch that in the meantime. So yeah, like I said, my mom had picked it out for me, and like I said, I absolutely love it because it works perfect, and especially with the crystal at the bottom being so heavy. Like I said, when the spirit is strong and it swings it no matter which way, it is very, 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 very strong. So it can move your hand or your wrist if it really, really wants to. And it can almost smack you in the face, kind of like now, like it's trying to almost like say, "Yeah, I can." And it is a man, and his name is Thor. So he's very proud of himself and his looks. Yes, I did see that. Thank you, Sabrina. But I'm going to go ahead and head off to bed, y'all, because I'm hungry and I haven't eaten. I have eaten, but I need to eat again. So, and my son's been asleep for, both of my sons have been asleep for a little bit. So, I'm going to go ahead and probably sign out. Like I said, we did do the reading on both of them tonight, Bonnie and Clyde and Cleopatra. So if you have any questions about that, you can just let me know and I can answer those for you. Thank you. Love you too. You're welcome, man. Thank you. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being part of the True Chakra Tarot Talk fam. Like I said, and I'm still getting used to the name changes. Like I'm not used to that. But I want to thank y'all for still being, here with us, and I greatly appreciate it. So, yes, and thank you all, like I said, again, for joining me for the 2 readings. Like I said, I greatly appreciate it. And then, like I said, I will try to upload the reading it was tomorrow's the class for tomorrow, the last class, so y'all have something to look at why I have stuff going on later on. So, but I will let y'all know as the day goes on, and I will talk to y'all very soon. So I want y'all to have a good night. Be safe. I love each and every one of y'all, and I will talk to y'all very, very soon. So have a good night, and I love each and every one of you, and love and light, and take care. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.